what, my wife and neighbor, in a peaceful village tucked between rolling hills and lush meadows, there was a home that everyone admired. It wasn't because of its grand size or fancy decorations. No, it was because of the warmth that seemed to radiate from every corner of the little cottage. The home belonged to Tom and Lily, a couple known for their kindness and love. Tom was a man with a heart full of kindness. He wasn't the brightest man in the village, and many people joked about his forgetfulness. Sometimes he'd forget where he left his hat, or mix up the days of the week. But that didn't bother him much. His smile was big, and his heart was even bigger. He loved Lily deeply, and that love was the strongest thing he had. Lily, on the other hand, was sharp-witted and clever. Her quick mind had often saved them from trouble. She could figure out how to fix anything, from broken furniture to the leaky roof. She loved Tom not only for his kindness, but also for the way he made her laugh. Their marriage was one built on love, respect, and a shared joy in the little things. One sunny morning, Tom woke up early to surprise Lily. He tiptoed into the kitchen with a plan. He would make her breakfast. He knew she liked pancakes, so he decided to make a batch from scratch. Tom mixed flour, eggs, and milk, but in his excitement, he accidentally added salt instead of sugar. The pancakes turned out terribly salty. Lily walked into the kitchen, her eyes still sleepy, but full of love for her husband. When she saw what Tom had prepared, her heart melted. She tried the pancakes, and her face scrunched up from the unexpected taste. But she quickly covered it with a smile, not wanting to hurt Tom's feelings. Tom looked worried. "Do you not like them, Lily?" Lily chuckled, setting down her fork. No, I love that you made breakfast for me," she said, her voice warm. "Maybe next time I can help you a little?" Tom smiled brightly, relieved. "I'd like that." The two of them sat in their small garden later that day, watching the butterflies and listening to the birds sing. They talked about their day, sharing stories and laughter. Even though Tom often needed Lily's help with practical things, he never minded. He admired her cleverness and always called her the cleverest wife in the world. And she loved him for the sweet way he looked at her. Not far from Tom and Lily's home lived Jack, a man with a sharp mind and an even sharper tongue. Jack was known throughout the village as the clever man. He read books every day and could answer any question quickly. He was proud of his intelligence, but there was one thing Jack couldn't understand: his wife, Sarah. Sarah was a lovely woman, but she wasn't very clever. She often made simple mistakes, like using vinegar instead of oil while cooking or mixing up names. Despite this, Sarah was always cheerful and kind. She loved Jack deeply and took pride in supporting him. But Jack sometimes felt embarrassed by Sarah's blunders. He watched Tom and Lily laughing together, and wished that Sarah could be more like Lily. Someone who could keep up with his clever conversations and solve problems easily. One evening, Jack sat on his porch, staring at Tom and Lily's home. He felt frustrated. Why can't Sarah be more like Lily? He wondered. If she were smarter, everything would be so much better. The next day, Jack couldn't keep his thoughts to himself. He visited Tom's home, hoping to talk things out. Tom greeted Jack warmly. Come in, come in. What brings you over today?" They sat together, and after a few moments, Jack couldn't hide his feelings any longer. "Tom," he said, his voice filled with envy, "I'm jealous of you. You have a clever wife, and I have Sarah. Sometimes I wish she could be more like Lily." Tom was taken aback. "But Sarah is nice, Jack. She's your wife. You love her, right?" Jack nodded. "I do love her, but I just feel like I need someone who can understand me better. Someone I can have interesting conversations with. Lily is always so sharp, and I feel like I'm missing out." Tom scratched his head, thinking, "Well, what if we swapped wives? You could have Lily, and I could have Sarah. That way, you'd have someone smart, and I could have someone simple like Sarah." Jack's eyes lit up at the thought. That might work. Yes, let's do it. Tom felt uneasy about the idea of swapping wives, but he didn't want to disappoint Jack. "I don't know, Jack. Maybe we should ask the judge what he thinks first." Jack agreed, and the two of them made their way to the village judge's house the next morning. The judge was a wise man, known for his fairness and knowledge. He listened carefully as Tom explained their idea. "We want to swap wives," Tom said hesitantly. "Jack thinks it would make us both happier." The judge raised an eyebrow. "This is a serious matter. Are you sure you want to go through with this?" Jack nodded eagerly. "Yes, we think it will make everything better." The judge paused, thinking carefully. "Very well, I will test you, Tom. If you can answer some questions correctly, you may keep Lily. If not, we will proceed with the swap." Tom's heart raced. He wasn't very smart, but he didn't want to lose Lily. "I'll try my best," he said, swallowing his nerves. The judge began asking simple questions, starting with basic math. "What is 2 plus 2? He asked. Tom answered quickly. 4. The judge nodded. "Good. Now what is the capital of our country?" Tom's mind went blank. I don't remember, sir." The questions continued, growing harder as the judge tested Tom's knowledge of history and geography. Tom struggled to answer, and with each mistake, he felt smaller and smaller. He could feel the weight of the situation bearing down on him. When the questioning ended, the judge looked at Tom seriously. You have much to learn, but there is still hope. Tom left the judge's house feeling defeated. He feared that he might lose Lily, and the thought of it filled him with sadness. Back at home, Lily could see that something was bothering Tom. "How did it go, my love?" she asked, her voice gentle. Tom sighed deeply. His shoulders slumped. "I couldn't answer the judge's questions, Lily. I'm afraid I'll lose you." Lily took his hands in hers, her smile warm and reassuring. "Don't worry, Tom. I believe in you. Let's practice together. I'll help you get ready for the next round." Tom looked at her with hope. "You really think I can do it?" "Of course. We'll make it fun, like a game," Lily said brightly, her eyes twinkling. That night, they sat at their kitchen table, with Lily holding up flashcards with simple questions. "Let's start easy," she said. "What color is the sky?" she asked. "Blue," Tom answered confidently, feeling proud. Lily smiled. "Great. Now, what animal barks?" "Dog." Tom laughed, proud of his answer. They continued for hours, turning their learning into a fun activity. Lily even made up little songs to help Tom remember facts. With each passing hour, Tom became more confident in his knowledge. When they finally finished, Tom hugged Lily tightly. "Thank you. I think I can do this now." "You can do anything, Tom," Lily said, hugging him back. The next morning, Tom felt both nervous and hopeful. The practice with Lily had helped, but he still wasn't sure he would be able to pass the judge's questions. Nevertheless, he dressed in his best clothes, hoping that his effort to improve would show. Lily kissed him on the cheek as he left. "I'm proud of you, Tom. Just remember, it's okay if things don't go perfectly. I believe in you." Tom smiled at her, feeling a little more confident. "Thank you, Lily. I'll do my best." The walk to the judge's house felt long and uncertain, but Tom held his head high. When he arrived, the judge was already sitting at his desk, surrounded by books. "Welcome, Tom," the judge said with a warm smile. "Are you ready for another round of questions?" Tom nodded, trying to calm his nerves. "Yes, sir." "I'm ready." The judge began asking questions once again, starting with simple ones that Tom had practiced with Lily. This time, Tom was more confident and answered correctly. When the judge asked about basic math and geography, Tom was quick to respond. "Good job, Tom," the judge said, nodding in approval. "Now, let's see how you do with a bit more challenging question. What is the capital of our country?" Tom's heart raced, but he remembered the answer. He grinned and replied, "Sunnyvale." The judge's eyes widened in surprise. Correct. Well done, Tom. Jack, who had been quietly watching from the side, stepped forward, a skeptical look on his face. This isn't fair, he said. Tom didn't know the answers on his own. He practiced with Lily. That's not how it should be. Tom felt a pang of worry in his chest. I didn't cheat, sir, he said quickly. Lily just helped me practice. It was all me when it came to the real answers. The judge looked thoughtful, weighing the situation carefully. I see. It's true that you have worked hard, Tom, but Jack makes a good point. You've shown improvement, but it's clear that your wife is the one who helped you get there. This makes the situation a bit more complicated. Tom's heart sank. The thought of losing Lily was unbearable. He glanced at Jack, then at Lily's absence, wishing she were there to help him now. Tom returned home that afternoon, feeling uncertain about what the judge might decide. As he entered the house, Lily greeted him with a smile, though she immediately noticed the worried look on his face. Tom, what happened? How did it go? Lily asked gently, her eyes searching his face. Tom let out a long sigh. The judge said it was close. He thought I might have cheated because I practiced with you, but I didn't cheat. I worked hard, and I'm afraid he'll decide we need to swap. Lily's face softened with understanding. Oh, Tom, you don't need to worry. We will figure this out together. Tom looked at her, his heart heavy. But how? What can we do? The judge seemed so certain that I wouldn't be good enough without you. Lily smiled, a spark of mischief in her eyes. I have an idea. We'll show Jack just how special you are, just how much we belong together. Tom's eyebrows furrowed. How? We're going to prepare a special dinner for Jack and Sarah. I'm going to cook something that looks fancy, but tastes awful. Tom stared at her in confusion. But why would we make something terrible? Lily's eyes sparkled with excitement. Because, Tom, sometimes appearances can be deceiving. Jack thinks intelligence is everything, but sometimes even the cleverest people make mistakes. We'll show him that you don't need to be the smartest to be loved and respected. The next evening, Lily went to work in the kitchen. She pulled out ingredients and began creating what would be the strangest meal Jack had ever eaten. She mixed flavors that didn't belong together, creating a dish that was colorful and looked delicious. But in reality, it would taste awful. Tom watched from the doorway, unsure whether Lily's plan would work. Are you sure about this, Lily? Lily laughed softly as she chopped fruits, vegetables, and herbs, mixing them together in a way that made no sense at all. Trust me, Tom. This will work. Jack needs to realize that things aren't always as perfect as they seem. Tom smiled nervously, but said nothing more as Lily continued with her preparations. By the time Jack and Sarah arrived for dinner, the strange-looking dish was ready. The colorful meal was laid out on the table, looking almost too good to be true. Tom and Lily exchanged a glance before they invited their guests to sit down. "Welcome. I hope you're hungry," Lily said, smiling brightly. "Tonight's meal is a special treat." Jack grinned eagerly. "I'm looking forward to it. I've heard so much about your cooking, Lily." As Jack took his first bite, his smile began to fade. He took another bite, then another, his face slowly turning pale. He tried to hide his discomfort, but it was obvious. Sarah looked at him with concern. "Jack, are you okay? What's wrong with the food?" Jack quickly put down his fork, looking for a way out. "It's, very different. I think I've had enough." Lily smiled sweetly. "It's a surprise dish. I call it Mystery Delight. I hope you're enjoying it. Now from this point, the story will be continued in the next part.